Okay, here's another one we can do. So say it says again, the question is factorize fully and simplify. And the question is now that's factorize fully means that you can't give an answer straight away. So you must and simplify. They're giving you two instructions. So you must get the factors and then break it down, simplify it. So we've done one similar to this in the previous video. So I need to factorize. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to circle that blue and say I circle the one underneath in gold. So that means I'm just in my head I'm thinking I need to do them separately. So first of all, 6x squared minus 11x minus 10. This is the end of the story. I've got a start, a middle and the end in my head. So that means that in the grid 6x squared is here. Minus 10 is here. I've got the start and the end. I must find the middle, don't I? I must find this part and this part. And I do know at the end of the day, at the end of the story, they all come together happily ever after. Okay, so the search is on to find the factors of 6x squared. Now lads, if you're getting good at this, if I was you, I'd be stopping the video and I would be trying out predicting what I'm going to do, okay? So please feel free to pause at any time. So here are my two factors for 6x squared. I need to find the factors for 6x squared. Okay, so there's my two. And just in one of the last videos we did, it came out that 3x and 2x were the factors. So I'm just going to go with that. I'm going to try 3x and 2x. And you know what? If it doesn't work out, I can always go back and try 6x and 1x. Right, so that's that part done. The next thing I look at is I go down here then to the minus 10. What numbers multiply to give this term minus 10? Well, minus 5 multiplied by 2, or what could you say, lads? Minus 2 multiplied by 5, I suppose. Or you could have minus 10 multiplied by 1, or you could have 10 multiplied by minus 1. They're all different factors. So any of them options would work by putting, so one of them is going to work, by putting them into the bottom left grid and the top grid. So do you know what? I'm going to try out minus 5 and 2. I'm just going to take a gamble and I'm going to put in minus 5 on my left hand side. That's where the number goes. And 2 up on top. Well, I'd multiply different to give you minus 10, wouldn't it? But let's go back to see what I'm left with. If I complete the rest of the grid, minus 5 multiplied by 2x, I get minus 10x. And minus 5 multiplied by 2, I'd get minus 10. Or sorry, pardon me, 3x. Sorry, lads. 3x multiplied by 2, and it'll give you 6x. So the two terms there is minus 10x and 6x. Do you know what? They're not adding to give me the middle number. They must add to give me minus 11x. So let's say I decide then, I just rubbed off what I had just there. Let's just say if we change them around. So let's say I put 2 down here instead. And I'm going to put minus 5 up here. 2 multiplied by, so I put in my multiplication sign. 2 multiplied by 2x gives me 4x. And 3x multiplied by minus 5 on top will give me minus 15x. Minus 15x plus 4x will give me minus 11x. So I know these are my factors. So 3x plus 2 and 2x minus 5 are my factors. These are the answers, what's here and what's here. So 3x plus 2 and 2x minus 5. So we write down 3x plus 2 and 2x minus 5 are my answers. To the top line now, let's go back to the question. The question said factorize fully. So do you know what? I factorized the top part. I'm now going to factorize the bottom part. So the bottom part is 4x squared minus 25. And thank God, it's something easy to factorize. Okay, immediately I'm thinking the difference of two squares. I don't know if you are or not. Some of you are thinking, what is she on about? What's this difference of two squares? So if you look at the first term, is there anything there that you could multiply together in 4x squared that will give you 4x squared? So 2 multiplied by 2 will give you 4. Okay, so there's one number, and if you multiply it by the mirror image of itself, 2 will give you 4. X multiplied by x will give you x squared. I'm going to put a bracket around that and put a square bit outside it. Then I'm going to put in my minus value because there's a minus or sign underneath it. Then what two numbers will multiply to give me 25? Yeah, so it's 5. So we go 5 squared. This is the difference of two squares, because I have numbers that when I find out a smaller number to multiply by itself, that's a mirror image of itself, it gives me the 4. It gives me a square number. So to finish this off, and this is the harder part to remember, it's the first term minus the second plus the first term plus the second. Term, lads, is like, for example, 4x squared, that's a term. Minus 25, that's a term. First minus second plus first plus second. Now, and we're nearly there then. So my answer is this part here for the second one. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to put the two answers, the one in blue and the one in green, over each other. Because I've now factorized, I now need to simplify. This is going to go in the bottom line, because that's the answer to the question. And I'm going to put in my plus sign. There should be a plus there, okay? This is the answer to the question for the bottom part. And the answer to the question for the top part was 3x plus 2, 2x plus 5. Simplify means, can you break it down? Is there anything you can simplify? And there is, isn't there? We can cancel them. So what we're left with is and that is your answer. You factorized and you simplified, and you can't break it down any more than that.